What is going on, everybody? It's Weather with Jonathan here, back again with another weather forecast. And things are starting to get very active. Storms are firing off just about everywhere in the country. So let's take a look at that. So this is a look at where storms are firing off. And we have storms firing off down there in southern Illinois, western Kentucky, just everywhere in Iowa, Nebraska, even in Texas, okay? Storms are firing off everywhere. So let's take a look at that. So this is a look at our lightning flash rate. This is a lightning strikes across the country. This is also um, something that helps us to know where some storms could be located. So this is today, and literally just watch. Like there are storms everywhere. Like how does this happen? How does this happen? Well, you want to know why this is happening? Well, let's just say you probably don't want to know why this is happening, but it's happening because of all this energy we have from this system that is working its way into the US. And this is a very powerful system that could bring a severe weather outbreak. And it could potentially have a couple strong tornadoes down there in southern Iowa. So this is a very dynamic system, okay? So what's going to be happening is we're just going to have a lot of warm air that's going to be trying to build up across this entire area of the country, okay? A lot of warm air is building up across the country, right in there. And you know what happens when we get the sun to come out right in this area? We get this instability, and instability is where the air mass is very unstable, and we have a lot of that, unfortunately, today. And unfortunately, it's just going to keep growing as we head out into today. So finally, the storms will eventually eat it up. But wow, we have a lot of that. And yes, we do have some wind shear for these storms to work with, okay? And in fact, we actually have a lot. Like when I say a lot, I mean a lot. We have a lot, okay? We have about 50 to 60 knots, I'd say, across northern Missouri, southern Iowa. So we could get a strong tornado actually today. And listen, I'm not saying we will, okay? I'm saying it is possible because we do have wind shear, we have a lot of cape, we have a lot of dew points, we have a lot of moisture, we have all that good stuff, okay? So this is a prime environment for tornadoes. And guess what? That's why the Storm Prediction Center has issued an enhanced risk. And enhanced risks are just going to be happening left and right, okay? They're just going to be happening left and right over the next couple of days. Because look, we've got an enhanced risk for portions of central and southern Iowa, eastern, aka southeastern Nebraska, northeastern Kansas, and northern Missouri, and extreme western Illinois. Now listen, I'm not saying this is going to happen, okay? I think they might actually potentially put a moderate risk. Maybe. Now listen, I'm not saying they will. But I think they could. But if they were to issue a moderate risk, I'd center it right here, okay? Right over here, this area, okay? And I mean, either way, we still have an enhanced risk with the 30% significant for wind, 30% significant for hail, and a 5% tornado risk, which I think will get upgraded to a 10% significant tornado risk. And then we have that slight risk extending from western Tennessee back through extreme eastern Colorado, and then another slight risk in Texas. And look at that. Our severe weather threat, of course, does not end, okay? Like I said, it's not going to end, okay? Got another slight risk for southern Illinois, southern Indiana, southeastern Missouri, northeastern Arkansas, northwestern Tennessee, and western Kentucky. And listen, you guys, this is just going to be happening over and over again for multiple weeks across this portion of the US, okay? We're going to get a ton of severe weather across this portion of the US throughout much of May, okay? And I know that rhymed. But tomorrow, yeah. We also still have a severe risk for Tuesday, and of course, it's another slight risk for southern Kansas and northern Oklahoma, and extreme northern Texas. We have a marginal risk in place for southeastern Virginia, eastern North Carolina, and eastern South Carolina, and then a marginal risk um, for portions of South Dakota, eastern Wyoming, and northern Colorado. And guess what? Somehow that severe weather threat does not diminish. Like, this is what I was talking about, okay? It's not gonna go away. And guess what? We have another slight risk again. Like, man, I'm just getting tired of these. We have another slight risk again for portions of western Nebraska, eastern Colorado, western Kansas, and the panhandles of Texas and Oklahoma. Guys, when does this ever end? Okay? And this is probably not going to end, okay? This is going to just continue throughout the summer, okay? We're going to have a lot of severe storms track across the U.S. over May. And guess what? Speaking of severe storms, let's track out the timing of our severe storms. Okay, so this is 1 p.m. We have severe storms down there in southern Illinois, tiny little squall line down there in southern Kentucky. And this is where we have some storms develop in central Nebraska and central Iowa, and also that's where we also have supercells develop in Texas. And these are going to be capable of all severe hazards. And I want you guys to pay attention to what happens in Iowa, okay? I'm going to zoom into Iowa so you can see how bad this event and how crazy it'll actually be. Now look, this is 6 p.m., okay? We have supercells absolutely everywhere. And this is our cloud cover. So we don't have that much cloud cover, which means sun will be able to come through these to some of these storms and produce tornadoes. So it just gets worse. And look, 8 p.m., we have clusters of damaging winds, large hail, and tornadoes across southern Iowa, eastern Nebraska. And this eventually just becomes a heavy rain mess with a bunch of damaging winds and a squall line. And eventually, finally, tomorrow morning, you guys will be done in central Iowa. And this is what it's going to look like tomorrow at 4 a.m. And unfortunately, northern Missouri got hit with a pretty bad tornado. So this is not good for them. So pray for them. And also just to look at our warm up across the country, because it is going to be warming up a lot. Like, I mean, look at this. Like, geez, like, watch. Like, you can probably notice that it's warming up a lot across the country, okay, you guys? So I hope you guys are glad that we've got a warm up now. At least I hope most of you are. But you guys better be glad because it's just gonna get worse, and eventually you guys are gonna wish you didn't have this because eventually it's just gonna get way too hot. And speaking of way too hot, just in to show you guys, it is gonna be blistering heat in the Northwest. And when I say blistering heat, look at this. Look at these temperatures. Blistering heat, like 90. Look, 90 degrees in Portland, 95 in Seattle. Like, it's just everywhere. It's just everywhere. Okay, you guys, it's just everywhere. Okay, so yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for coming. I know I changed up this video. I did it a little differently than I normally do my videos because but I'm sorry. I also haven't been uploading. I just needed a break. I've been busy with a lot